I think 2025 is going to be a big year for utility driven cryptos. Take a look at the headlines that I have for you in this episode. Filipino banks plan to launch multi issuer stablecoin on the Hedera DOT. Longtime HBAR holders, you're going to be surprised to find out who's wrapped up in this. We also have Mastercard expands crypto credential solution to UAE and Kazakhstan. Now, Stellar holders, you may remember back in October, the Mastercard crypto credential solution was integrated into the Stellar network. And you're going to be even more surprised to find out the activity that Stellar already has established in the UAE as well as Kazakhstan. And the last thing we're going to cover here, we need to pay attention to what's happening in the United Kingdom. UK Treasury spares crypto staking from collective investment scheme regulation. I am praying, ladies and gentlemen, that staking makes its way back to this market during this bull cycle, because if this is your first run, you've missed the staking era from 2020 to 2021. Looking back, I feel like staking is what made that bull run last as long as it did, in my opinion. We'll talk about it, but let's go to the top of the deck here. And let me introduce myself to those that are new. My name is Wade, and welcome to another edition of the DHN Crypto Podcast. I've been in the space since 2019, and I've researched over 1,000 digital assets. And the only reason I sit here, run this channel, is to share all that knowledge with you. All I'm asking in return is that you hit that like button, but don't consider it for me. Let's do it for the utility cryptos that will dominate this market in 2025. Now, at the end of this, guys, I'm going to share with you the DHN Blockchain Starter Kit for 2025. It's a tool that the listeners and subscribers of this channel use to navigate the crypto space every day. Stick around for that. Let's jump into this, though, here, because I can't wait to tell you who this surprise guest is. So, Filipino banks issuing multi-issuer stablecoin, PHPX, on Hedera. Lot of FUD around this story. When I do my research, I like to get both sides, the social side as well as where the facts are, just to get the best perspective. And a lot of people were saying that one of the players involved in the stablecoin wasn't actually a real company. That is where I place my focus. And don't worry, I found them. So later this year, be expecting this. Filipino banks planning to launch a multi-bank peso stablecoin, the PHPX. It will initially operate on the Hedera network, and the banks include, Union Bank, Rizal Commercial Banking, Catalan Bank, and Rural Bank of Guinea-Baton. Singapore's startup Just Finance will be the initiator. That's the company we're going to pay a lot of attention to. But banks will have a significant role in the governance. We're looking at a multi-currency system, and that's going to be very important to a PDF I'm going to share with you in just a couple minutes. Now, looking into the players involved with this stablecoin project, I stumbled upon a press release from November of last year. Just Finance unveiled PHPX bank-to-back peso stablecoin innovation. This press release gives us two things. One, more details on the peso-backed stablecoin, as well as the companies behind Just Finance. Now, there's a list of different features that the stablecoin will have. We'll come back to those in a second. I want to share this highlighted piece with you here. Just Finance is a joint venture between FSCO and Anya. Now, Anya, new name to me, new company, Web3 startup. They're trying to put their flag in the ground. FSCO, longtime Hedera holders. You remember this company. Back in 2023, ladies and gentlemen, the largest user of Mastercard's formerly known Provenance blockchain migrated to Hedera. And the number one reason they migrated, as you can see, real-world asset tokenization. But see, FSCO didn't just migrate to Hedera. What they were doing with Mastercard's blockchain was what they were using Continuity API. And in December of last year, Fresh Supply integrated HTS, Hedera's token service, into Continuity API. Very key there. Take note of that. Boosting lending confidence through verifiable payments. This Continuity API will consist of enabling Hedera users to connect to automated clearinghouse payments, an electronic bank-to-bank form of payment available in the U.S., and the Mastercard network. Soon, Hedera's user base will be able to access Mastercard payment gateway services and other forthcoming Mastercard Web3 and digital asset products as part of the integration. So, knowing that, that makes this little PHPX stablecoin and this little unknown company, Just Finance, just adequate to do the job. Now, there's another layer to this, folks, and it all goes down to the APIs as well as the remittance situation in the Philippines. I had to dig around for a little bit. Wanted to look at the numbers for remittances coming out of the Philippines, because when I was looking on the social side, this is another point that people tried to make up and showcase funny numbers and made up images or whatever. But this is from the source that I have, guys. This is coming from Banco Sterling, the Filipinas themselves, right? From the horse's mouth. Personal remittances from overseas Filipinos grew by 3.3% to 3.2 billion in August of 2024 from 3.1 billion 12 months prior. Pretty nice increase, moderate increase, but it's very nice. And then down here we have cash remittances rose by 2.9% to 22 billion from 21 billion the year prior. Moderate growth, but the growth is there. And it's important to pay attention to, because this is where that new stable coin is going to be targeted. That is why these charts are so important. The other side to this takes us all the way to the top, ladies and gentlemen. We brought this up in the ISO episode a couple days back, but I want you to understand the importance of interlinking payment systems. You were correct. The person that sent me an email asking for these documents, and they will be making their way to you very soon. You are correct in your assumption in thinking that there is a much larger plan here, and you are correct in believing that there is a single goal that all of these DLT and blockchain projects are aiming to achieve. It is interlinking of payment networks for cross-border payments in order to reduce the cost and all of the other challenges that comes along with them. That is coming from the G20 Cross-Border Payments Program. Now, let me show you this PDF here. Okay, and these are the type of documents we break down for the members. What do you see here? Types of interlinking arrangements. I want to take you straight down to this one. Type of currency arrangement. An interlinking arrangement may be a single currency or a multi-currency arrangement with or without a currency conversion. In this case, our stablecoin on Hedera would fall under common platform, where the core component would be the stablecoin, and it is being managed by the banks A, B, C, and D here. So I bring this up because this not only represents a huge push forward for Hedera, in my opinion, but it also lines up with the goal, the universal goal around the world, coming from the players at the top to improve cross-border payments around the world. So there's nothing about this development that can go wrong, in my opinion. And then I want to add this as well. When you download your blockchain starter kit, you get your adoption model. And this is a perfect opportunity to truly explain that. So the independent organization in this case would be FSCO, Fresh Supply Company. The third-party tech provider would be Anya. And then your financial service provider in this case would be those banks in the Philippines. Clearly, the network they chose, the Hedera network, and the completed blockchain application in this sense would actually be the blockchain service that will be coming through, what's the name of that company? Just Finance. So as we cover these stories, guys, I'm going to refer back to this adoption model, because the better that we get at recognizing the patterns, the better investment decisions that we can make. Now, Mastercard, speaking of Mastercard, right? Now, with that information, I would expect to hear Mastercard crypto credentials making their way to the Hedera network, or the Hedera network integrating MCC into their setup. But let's turn our attention to XLM, because I can't wait to share with you what's truly going on here. So Mastercard expands its crypto credential solution to the United Arab Emirates as well as Kazakhstan. Why is that big for XLM holders? Again, Stellar integrated the Mastercard crypto credential ecosystem or tool into their network. And what does this mean? Well, simply, the crypto credential helps verify interactions amongst consumers and businesses using blockchain networks and will be embedded in the Stellar ecosystem as the exclusive credentialing solution to enable a range of secure, compliant use cases for crypto wallet providers, including Coins.ph, Mercado Bitcoin, and WireX, 3 companies that are on their own dominating. All right, they're dominating in their market. But what that simply means is, especially in the case of a business owner in Kazakhstan or the United Arab Emirates, when they go to do business and they choose the Stellar network and they set up their payment platform, they're going to see that credential. And to me, if I see a Mastercard credential on one of these quote unquote dodgy crypto networks, that's going to make me more confident. I'm going to want to do business with the verified network. And in this case, that's Stellar. And soon to be Hedera, hopefully. But the other leg to this, guys, is where Stellar does its business. So when it comes to the XLM network, I am finding more reliable information in the Anchor directory as opposed to the ecosystem directory on their website. There's a lot of dead links on their Stellar Development Foundation. You need to check them out. But the Anchor directory has not failed me yet. And you can see here, yep, they have an Anchor. They have anchors in Kazakhstan as well as the United Arab Emirates. And you look at some of the names of the anchors. They got an on and off ramp. That's what these anchors are, by the way, on and off ramps, where you can access Stellar and then get rid of Stellar or convert your Stellars to fiat, so forth and so on. But the names you see here, Mastercard, Google Pay, Apple Pay, Visa, PayPal, Binance Pay. When I made that episode about Circle and Binance integrating their entire tech stack together and how that could benefit networks like Stellar, Hedera, Algorand, I forgot to mention this point here, the Binance anchors that were already in development. And what's interesting about this is that's actually more so tied to what FCSO is doing, but they're bringing in USDC into that conversation as well. You also notice when you read the press releases, the PHPX stablecoin, it can also be converted to USDC and the euro. I mean, the connections are out there, folks. But the point I'm making in relation to Stellar and this Mastercard crypto credential, Mastercard crypto credentials just expanded into 2 areas where Stellar already has multiple on and off ramps. So going back to the businessman analogy, if someone in the UAE or Kazakhstan wants to start a payment solution on the Stellar network, not only do they have multiple on and off ramps, but it is now verified by one of the biggest payment processors on this planet. Don't get no sweeter than that, guys. So while you digest that, I got to remind you, one of our biggest channel supporters, man, at this point, I feel like they're a partner. Upho's been rocking with me for so many years, going back to 2020, folks. And they have this Upro rewards. They're the first to offer yield on RLUSD, Ripple's flagship stablecoin. But there's a piece of news, the UK story, that could magnify this rewards program. If staking comes back to this market, I got started staking on Uphold, and they do it better than anyone else. So links to Uphold will be in the description as well as the pinned comment. And let's head over to the UK, guys, and break down this situation, because this could be big for not just assets like the Quant Network, who we know are #1 in the UK. And I also have to bring up a tweet here. But this also entails DLT projects. And when you understand that, then you know, boy, that list gets massive. Now I'm going to find this tweet. It's under my profile here. As a matter of fact, guys, be sure to hop over on Twitter. I entered this contest with a Flare Network. And they were looking for a content creator, somebody to make a piece of content about Flare. What do you know, right? So I dropped my video on that. What I'll do is I'll post that at the top of my X profile, and then throughout the day, you guys can, bomb it and let Flair know I'm the best out here. But shout out to Maximus Crypto and Sebastian for this post here. We're actually going to lead with this. So this is coming from the man himself, Mr. Gilbert Verdien. He stated that we're working on ideas in the background, and after getting regulatory and legal clarity, we'll be able to introduce different forms of staking and rewards to encourage more participation on the Overledger platform. Well, a little bit later, we see here UK at Crypto Asset Business getting ready to make that decision, and that decision was finalized as of this week. So what does it all mean? Basically, up until now, there was a regulatory framework called the FSMA that prohibited staking. It included staking under something called a collective investment scheme. Well, thanks to this new amendment, which I want to show you here, that is no longer the case. Arrangements for qualifying crypto asset staking do not amount to a collective investment scheme. But you notice down here as well, a network that uses distributed ledger technology or other similar technology also are excluded from collective investment schemes. So if you take this amendment and you lay it on top of what Gilbert is getting ready to do, as Sebastian points out, after January 31st, it's on. Staking will make its way to the Quant network. I'm thinking, though, it won't just be Quant. They aren't the only blockchain DLT-based asset working in the United Kingdom. And with the way the United Kingdom is already steps ahead when it comes to stablecoin regulation, you can honestly layer all three of these stories we talked about in this episode on top of each other, and you can see the landscape being created here. I am definitely excited about the fact that staking could be making its way back to this market, because in 2020, that was it. That was the name of the game. It's what made DeFi summer a thing, was people's ability to get so much yield on these assets. I'll tell you a quick story, guys, before we get out of here. There was a crypto project called Wonderland. Wonderland, yeah, and they had a token called Time. Okay, this was during the Safe Moon era. This was a little bit before Terra Luna, something like that, right? But they were offering yield, insane amounts of yield. We're talking 500, 600, 700%. So people were putting in $22, $45, and making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in a day. It was not making any sense, but it caused a huge problem, which created the ripple effect where the EU, United States, UK, and other bodies were like, nah, staking is not what's up. But the thing about staking is, if you ask me, that is the number one way to make generational wealth in crypto. If you can get an effective staking system set up for your investments, you'll be unstoppable. You'll reach the point where you no longer have to buy any more crypto. It's really optional at that point. You take a good principal amount and you find a good staking platform. Okay. So I'm really hoping that this causes a chain reaction in the market. And maybe going into 2026, we start seeing headlines where the United States is making decisions like this, or Australia, or even in Asia, somewhere in Asia, India, because I don't recall India having a solid framework on staking or even allowing it. They're still dealing with the crypto tax situation. So I'm praying for this, man. And like the amendment says, it's going to do wonders for DLTs, assets classified as DLTs as well. So there's your Ripple, there's your Algorand, there's your XDC. We already know these networks have strong markets in the United Kingdom. So short term, what you can look for, once this goes through at the end of the month, we already know Quant getting ready to turn it on. Staking rewards for Quant. Just take a look at any asset throughout the history of crypto. And the ones that have staking ecosystems always outperform other assets. It is guaranteed. So the $1,000 era for Quant is coming through staking. We're going to see the same effect actually in Algorand, because Algorand activated their staking this month as well. This is why I love being here. Now, before we get out of here, guys, I got something special for you. Got a little bit of surprise. So over the weekend, I was working on another document, another key piece of education to help us navigate this space. This falls in line with the blockchain basics for 2025 PDF, DeFi made simple, tokenization, so forth and so on. This is part 4 of that entire series, and we deal with mastering crypto wallets. Now, I'm going to break this down in the membership section. So if you want to get a one-on-one kind of analysis from me, how to navigate this PDF, you'll have to become a member. Hit the join button under this video. But there's another way for you to get your hands on this. And you can go to my website, digitalhustlenetwork.com, and it'll be right at the top, right under our latest piece of content here, Master Crypto Wallets. What it does, my favorite part about this, is that you not only learn the individual components, but I put a section in here that shows you how to do a transaction, how to set up hardware wallets, how to do staking, all of those things. The process is truly super simple. But I say that as a kid who grew up playing hella video games. So when I got into this was easy for me to pick up. But I can tell you, the number one problem that people come to me with when they find out I am in crypto is, how do I get it from one place to another? I can never seem to figure it out. Wade, can you help me? Well, I'm aiming to help at least 10 million other people figure this out as well. And again, I refer back to these myself, guys, constantly, not only to, get it ready for maybe do some updates. There might be things I'm missing, but I may run into a platform that's a bit tricky for me to navigate. So I go back to the fundamentals. So again, digitalhustlenetwork.com is where you can pick up the Master Crypto Wallets PDF, as well as tokenization, DeFi made simple, blockchain basics. And shout out to everyone who has picked up the PDF already. I want to thank you for surely. So with that, that's all I got for this one, man. Hope y'all have a great weekend. It's playoff football all around the globe. Did I show you the blockchain starter kit? Yes. Make sure you download your blockchain starter kit for 2025. You'll get links to my social media channels, as well as the 5 verticals of blockchain. I love this. Enterprise, macro, emerging, gaming, DeFi. This is what tends to come out of this industry on a daily basis. And again, we have the adoption model. I put this in here because I too still struggle trying to decipher where all of this stuff is headed. So I put this together for us so that way we have at least another leg up in our understanding. And then the criteria for evaluating assets. Listen, our compensation over here is the new financial system. That's why we talk about Quants, Hedera, Stellar, XRP, XDC, Flare, those assets, because we believe that they represent the new financial services of the new financial system. But this criteria can be applied to any asset, meme coins, gaming, strictly DeFi, Solana, it don't matter. Use this criteria and it'll help you make a better decision. Outside of that, you'll get links to different blockchain networks to give you an idea of how they live and breathe on a daily, as well as organizations to follow. We covered a couple of them in this episode, and if staking is about to become a thing again, we want to pay attention to what's going on in Europe. Also, with Mastercard expanding crypto credentials to the UAE and Kazakhstan, there are a few groups in the Middle East and North Africa that you want to pay attention to. So, with that, news and analytics sources. With that, I'm out y'all here, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.